We go in the huddle on the Woodward Radio Network. In the Huddle is driven by Mills Fleet Farm. From Tanner's Sports Grill in Kimberly, here is Justin Hall with Packers offensive tackle David Bakhtiari.
And good evening from Tanner's Sports Grill in Kimberly. In the Huddle once again on the Woodward Radio Network. Justin Hull with you, and our guys are on their way. A little snowy here in northeast Wisconsin. So David Bakhtiari, Aaron Adams, they'll be in attendance momentarily here to talk about yesterday's bittersweet day. The bitter was the 38-31 loss at the hands of the Pittsburgh Steelers at Lambeau Field to fall to 7-7-1. But the sweet was the help they got. The Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions both losing yesterday. So it's all going to come down to this Sunday in Chicago with the Packers and the Bears. Jason Kemp will be with us here, filling in until the guys get here. We're going to start things off tonight with our Compass Land Consultant Injury Report, get you updated on some big injury news today in Green Bay. Compass Land Consultants, a full real estate consulting business. They specialize in the sale of vacant land. That includes hunting property. You can let the experts at Compass Land lead you to the victory in that search for the perfect piece of real estate. Try saying that 5 times fast, Jason. They got what you need on the water, off the water. Let their experts help you find exactly what you need. Give them a call, 800-548-6933, or check them out at clclands.com. And the piece of information Packer fans want to know, what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers. And head coach Mike McCarthy pretty adamant today about the situation. Rodgers still not medically cleared yet, but they're hoping that they're going to have a sit-down meeting with Aaron Rodgers, Ted Thompson, Mike McCarthy, and Dr. McKenzie, maybe to expedite things.
Yeah, and that was the big thing that Mike McCarthy said in his press conference today was, we want to find things out a little bit earlier this week and not push it. The team deserves to know.
Well, Jason, the guys are here in Christmas sweater festivity here. It's going to make for some great pictures at the end of the show. Aaron and David hopping aboard here. We'll continue on the injury front. Clay Matthews, not good news with him. NFL Network reporting that re-injured that thumb that he hurt earlier on the year. Likely lost for the season. Head coach Mike McCarthy, nothing confirmed yet, but that's what the reports are out there. Eddie Lacy, ankle injury, had to lead the game today. Coach said he was sore, who isn't this time of year, and hoping that Thursday when the guys return to the practice field, he'll be able to get back out there. Brad Jones left yesterday's game with an ankle injury, and Randall Cobb hoping to get cleared to get back out there this week. David Bakhtiari, ladies and gentlemen, in his Christmas sweater. You really took the Christmas show to heart.
Yeah, why not? Christmas is right around the corner.
And it's Christmas conditions here in Green Bay as well. I know Aaron's from Florida, so he must really be enjoying this.
Yeah, he was just talking about it. He's like, man, there's so much snow. I've never seen this much snow before. I was like, oh, just wait.
Yeah, it's coming, and we'll talk to him a little bit about that coming up here. But, David, let's talk a little bit about that game yesterday and the game and the day. 38-31 loss to the Steelers. I know we chatted a little bit after the game, and spirits were definitely, low because you guys had your destiny in your own hands, but losing to the Steelers, you lost that momentarily.
Yeah, I didn't really know what possibilities or how the other games were shaking out or did shake out. So I was just kind of, with that game coming down to that wire, that end, that finish, I was like, oh, man. And then I think TJ told me, he's like, hey, we still got a shot with the Eagles. And then I heard real quick, they're like, oh, they're up like 21-0. I was like, what? Yeah. All right, and then that's why I tweeted out, I'm like, let's go Eagles.
I saw that on Twitter last night, go Eagles, only thing you said after the game. And of course, as you mentioned, 24-3 at halftime, and then, of course, 54-11 for a team that could have won the division last night with a victory. And really, did you watch any of it? Did you see any of it?
Oh, yeah. As soon as I got home, I turned it on. Our fate kind of rested in their hands. And, I wanted to tweet out again, but I was like, I'll leave just one. But my thought was I'm like, all right, Eagles, you owe us one. We went to Dallas and took care of business. And, everyone was tweeting back yeah, we owe you a favor. Here you go, you're welcome. And I was like, sweet.
It's crazy. It's crazy in 1 week what the Philadelphia Eagles and Justin Tucker have done to, to put themselves in Green Bay Packer history. Tucker, the field goal kicker for Baltimore, the 61-yarder. Did you see Twitter there? Everyone was blasting Baltimore for playing for a 61-yard field goal. Then all of a sudden they were the greatest thing ever because he made it. Yeah.
I mean, I guess you just can't get rid of us. I don't know how else to explain it. I mean, everything that can go wrong has gone wrong, but everything that can go right has gone our way. I guess someone upstairs really wants us to be in the playoffs, give us this opportunity. So, I mean, we have one shot. This is one game, and, I guess win it and you're in.
How do you look at yesterday's game now? Because essentially, even if you guys would have come back, won that game yesterday, it didn't make a difference in the standings because you still have to go to Chicago and win. So, with the Bears losing, I don't want to say it made yesterday's game irrelevant, but it kind of did.
Yeah, I mean, my mindset went from, my God, we battled and that's what our season came to we can still, we're in the same predicament even if we were to win the game. So, of course I would have loved to win the game. I mean, who doesn't want to win?
Yeah.
But, I mean, in that circumstance, I'm like, well, great. I mean, we'll get over that game. That game's done. Let's go beat the Bears, go to the playoffs, make a good run, and, bring back some hardware.
I do have a couple questions on yesterday's game, just out of curiosity.
Okay.
The final 10 seconds. The clock runs. I know there was some finger pointing at the officials from, some of your teammates. I'm not going to say anybody. Don't want to get anybody in trouble or anything. But what did you know in those final seconds? Did you know the clock was going to start? And how did that, kind of play out on the field from being out there?
So this is what I knew in my mind. Got called for offsides. I looked up. I saw 20 seconds. I'm like, all right, they said 10 seconds is going to be taken off. So I go back in the huddle. I hear the play. I get up to line of scrimmage. I'm like, all right, I'm not looking at the clock. I'm not looking at what's happening. I'm just like, all right, I have this guy, this man. I got to block my tail off because I don't want to be the reason why anything bad happens. And then ball snap, thrown. I see them cheering, and then I'm like, and I look up, and I see zeros on the clock. I was like, that was 10 seconds. And then I kind of just went to straight just emotionless because I didn't know how to feel. I mean, it was terrible. So I was just kind of taken back. So I guess in my mind, I was like, how does one play take 10 seconds?
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing in my mind. That didn't make sense.
Yeah, it did seem like the fastest 10 seconds in football. But like we talked about, the Bears helped you out by losing to Philly. We'll talk more about that. And we'll meet our guest, Aaron Adams, when we bring it back. We are live here from Tanner's Sports Grill in Kimberly in the Huddle on the Woodward Radio Network. And welcome back to Tanner's Sports Grill in Kimberly in the Huddle on the Woodward Radio Network. Hanging out tonight with Packers offensive tackle David Bakhtiari and introducing our special guest in his rookie season out of Eastern Kentucky, wears number 77, Aaron Adams. Aaron, thanks for coming out.
Oh, thank you guys for having me.
So, Lake Worth, Florida. What's going on in Lake Worth, Florida today?
Lots of sunshine, people at the beach. Nothing like this, tell you that much.
So what was the conversation like? I mean, when you're, wow, it's a lot of snow, and David's telling you it's getting worse.
I don't know what to think. I mean, coming from there, we make snowmen out of sand. So coming up here, I actually went sledding for the first time the other day. I had a good time with it.
Sledding?
Yeah.
That's got to be a good time. You do?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't done it recently.
In a while.
But I definitely am a fan of sledding.
Eastern Kentucky, played your college ball there. Just you got an opportunity to start, I think, a few games as a freshman, and then from there able to go on and have a pretty productive career, a couple OVC All-Conference honors as well, right?
Yep.
Tell us about playing at Eastern Kentucky and, getting this opportunity here to come to the NFL.
It was a great experience. Eastern Kentucky was my only offer, any scholarship offer. They were my only one. So when I got there, small guy. I was 240 pounds when I got there.
I can relate.
Yeah.
What were you when you got to college then?
I was 244, so I had you by 4 pounds. That explains the 4 pounds we have to differentiate.
I don't know. So when I got there was actually another guy that had a chance to go to the NFL. He played about 4 years, so he was kind of my mentor there. And my breakout season was my junior year. I started every game, and ended up with my first team all conference. And after that year is when I started to get a lot of talks from scouts and have the opportunity to come to the NFL. So my senior year did the same thing, all conference, all American, and after that got a lot of talks. There's some people projecting me to get drafted, but ended up signing a free agent deal with the Browns and got cut from there after the very last preseason game and picked up here the next day.
So that decision when you don't get drafted, were there a lot of teams, a lot of opportunities? And I say that because was Green Bay one of those opportunities? I have to ask because you do end up here.
Yeah, they were definitely in the mix at the end. There was about 15, 20 teams calling with free agent offers, and I felt like the Browns would have been the best opportunity for me with what they drafted and who they had on their roster, and that's the reason I made the move there.
Joe Thomas, I have to ask you what meeting him was like because he's a Wisconsin guy.
Yeah.
And people here, we still love our Badgers, obviously, but
yeah.
he's one of the best in the game.
He is. Joe's actually a cool guy. He's really funny, down to earth. I was surprised when I got there about the kind of guy that he is. He's laid back. He's really cool, though.
He's the number 2 pick. I think he spent his draft day fishing.
With his dad,
With his dad.
That's so ballin'. That's so sweet.
Get back to the port like, oh, I'm going. All right, play for the Browns now.
What was Cleveland like? The atmosphere in the Browns. I mean, talking about an organization that on the field hasn't had the success. They're a traditional, franchise, but at least success winning. Not the same here to Green Bay, and kind of compare that to coming here and just maybe a whole new different aura about it.
You can definitely tell the difference in the two atmospheres. They're hungry for a championship over here and over there, and here it's second nature. So coming here, everything, what I noticed was a lot more brotherhood. Over there, it's kind of a little mixed up, cliques, but here it's a team atmosphere, and that's what I think leads to the championships here.
You got nice guys like David over here. It's real easy to fit in, right?
Great.
Yeah, I am a nice guy.
He's a great guy.
First impression, Aaron comes into that room, and you see a lot of guys come in. What was that first meeting like, David?
I mean, you always got to take some time to get used to someone. I'm not just going to, when I saw Aaron, I'm like, oh, what's up, buddy? Let's be best friends. Let's hang out all the time. I mean, definitely you got to kind of feel each other out. We actually have a mutual friend, an offensive lineman, Braxton Cave, who played at Notre Dame and is with the Patriots right now. And he had hit me up. He's like, hey, because they were both in Cleveland together. And he was like, hey, my buddy's on your team. He's a really cool guy, kind of, like look out and be nice to him. So right off the bat, I was a little bit more open, but still, I had to test the water. It's not like I'm going to jump into something. But, I mean, me and Aaron, we've slowly, started hitting it off. I mean, he's funny. That's the biggest thing about him. I mean, he definitely adds, he hasn't gotten any, rookie torture. It's pretty much all on me because,
nice.
I don't know why. They just want to throw it all on me in the beginning, and then now it's kind of been tapered off to a few of the other rookies. But, I mean, everyone just kind of, you can't hate Aaron, essentially. Well, as what they like to call him, AA or AA Ron.
AA Ron.
Is
that from the Key and Peele skit?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. If not, look it up. It's definitely worth it. So, what's the mindset then coming to a team? Because you're at camp in Cleveland. You got a lot of guys around you that are we're in a similar situation, but. Here you come to Green Bay. I know a couple other guys as well in the same position as you. New group of faces, new team, new playbook and what. So, I guess take us through your mind coming here early September.
When I first got here, my biggest thing was to try to learn the playbook as soon as possible. I signed here as a practice squad player because Green Bay has had had a history of giving practice squad players opportunities. So that was my main reason for coming here. And when I got here, first thing I wanted to do was learn the playbook just in case my opportunity came sooner than I thought. And after that, just try to get along with the guys, which was pretty easy coming into that room.
I know one big thing, Jamal Roll was here with Devon a few weeks ago, and he mentioned it as well. Practice squad, it's a label, but you guys are, Packers treat you guys like you're one of the 53. I mean, it's not a 53-man roster. It's a 60-man roster in Green Bay because – where do the Packers go when somebody goes down to bring that next guy up?
Exactly.
You've seen a lot of practice squad guys end up getting on that 53 and get suiting up this year.
Yeah, I'm actually the only one that's been on practice squad since week 1, so it's
it's the position-wise, at least. I mean, injury front has been.
Yeah, don't jinx me.
I'm knocking on that.
That's messed up.
I'm doing it.
Come on, man.
I'm not jinxing.
I'm blaming you on that one. That's mean.
Come on.
I see where that was directed. Okay.
So where are you now, I guess, too? And I'm going to ask both of you this, too. I know, David, we talked about it last week. Do you still feel like a rookie? But I kind of want to dive into that a little bit more. Where you were first day coming into Green Bay, where you feel you are now as a player.
I feel much more comfortable. When I first got here, I struggled a little bit, but after I got a hang of it and actually watching Dave and Marshall Newhouse, the way that they come out of their stance and the way that they do their things, I kind of mirrored my game after that, and it helped me out a lot. So I feel like I've come a long way since I've gotten here.
How about you, David? Your situation, you got thrusted into a big role right from the get-go, held on to it, and never let go.
Yeah. It was tough in the beginning because I had a lot of stuff on my plate, and then, not to mention when I started playing, the veterans didn't want to. It's like, to be honest, they're not accepting like open arms. Like, welcome to the starting group. They're like, no, you're still going to do your little rookie stuff, this, that, the other. And got to a point where it was just really hectic. I'm like, I have DeMarcus Ware I got to worry about, and I still got to do all this other stuff. Like, I need to, Alden Smith, I could go name all of these names. So it got to a point, basically in meetings when someone said something about me being a rookie, and Josh went, hey, he ain't no rookie no more. And once I heard that, I was like, I'm in. Finally in. Because whatever, the basically room goes, Josh is the oldest guy around. So once Josh kind of initiates you and says it, you feel pretty good. So from then on out, I'd say it's been about like a month and a half. I've been it's been eased up a little bit. I still do most of my rookie duties, but I haven't really been, bombarded like I was earlier in the year.
Rookie wall. When you hear that, you guys are now into what, weeks? 17 of the regular season. I'm trying to go back through training camp too, another 5 weeks. So this is 22 weeks. College, it was 13, 14 weeks. How you holding up physically? Is it a little more tiring? Do you find yourself taking a few extra naps nowadays?
Definitely. Yeah. I definitely am taking more naps. I think talking actually with Josh and a couple of them, I think my rookie wall was week 8 or 7 when we played at the Ravens. I just was being an idiot in practice. I couldn't run a play. I had so many mental errors, and everyone was kind of freaking out, looking at me like, you have Terrell Suggs this week. You gonna do this? And then I played well in the game, which was good. So then that was, I think, my worst point for me.
Luckily for me, I don't have to play on Sundays.
You know what? We'll get to you a little bit more here. We got the break coming up, too, and we'll do our Christmas show. I want to find out Bakhtiari Christmas, a little bit about the Adams Christmas, as well as we are in the huddle here live from Tanner Sports Grill in Kimberly. More coming up with our players here on the Woodward Radio Network. And welcome back here to Tanner Sports Grill in Kimberly in the huddle on the Woodward Radio Network. In the huddle brought to you by Mills Fleet Farm. Transportation for our guests brought to you by L&S Classic Limousine, Lenny and Sue. And we have Emma and Lenny. Matthew. Emma and Matthew. We got Lenny's grandkids out here in attendance. So thanks for coming out. And Lenny, great job getting our players here through this wonderful Christmas weather.
Thank you, Lenny.
Thanks.
Here in Wisconsin. We got our Brew Pub Lots and Lots of Pizza Ask the Players segment. That's coming up next. Got a few questions through the day for you guys, so we'll have some fun with it. But it is Christmas week, and I'm just going to tell you, we put the show videos up on YouTube. If you're listening right now and you're not here at Tanner's, make sure you check out this video, just so you can see the sweaters.
Should we get up? Should we do like a little
that Aaron
twirl?
and David are wearing? If you want to get up, do a little curtsy, I think is what they call it. You can see them. We got Santa writing a Christmas message in the snow, and these snowmen, and yeah. So not your everyday sweaters, but they're nice.
You got to have some fun,
I actually have the Santa sweater.
Oh yeah.
I wore it to the family Christmas last year and got rave reviews.
These are the best ugly sweaters.
They really are.
For ugly ugly sweater Christmas party. Oh, this is prime.
The picture of you on Twitter, did you see the one he tweeted? He's sitting next to the fireplace, okay? He's got the hair all voluptuously, hair dried out. Voluptuous is the word that he uses.
I told you that. That's a good way to
hair.
describe my hair.
He's got his stocking next to him. You're holding some kind of figurine.
That's Santa Claus.
That's Santa Claus
Yep.
next to your little Christmas tree.
I can see that.
Yep.
Is that what the Bakhtiari, or your house, I should say, right now is all decked out in Christmas?
Yeah, very festive. I mean, I got 2 stockings, and it's right next to the fireplace. I wanted to get a nice little scenery, to kind of express my gratitude for Tipsy Elves, nice enough to give me these ugly sweaters for Christmas. Much appreciated.
How about are you a decorator for Christmas? You got the.
My wife loves to decorate, so we've got the whole house decked out.
Devon was telling us that there's professional people that come out and decorate your house for you. That you can
put the lights?
You can hire somebody to come out, and they'll. I think he said they buy the lights, they come out, they put them up for you, and then they take them down at the end of the season.
Well, that's not really Christmas
Yeah,
festive.
it takes
you got to go through the hard work. My mom bought me lights, and I was good enough to not put them up because I didn't even know. My mom actually got mad at me for that because I looked in the closet. I'm like, hey, I got some lights in here. She goes, I bought those for you a month ago. I was like, oh, my bad.
Well, what's the week like? Because I know, and Coach McCarthy talked about it today, and something that's very important to him is making sure you guys do get off for Christmas. So you guys have an off day on Wednesday, which is normally your regular day of work. So, I mean, with the Bears, second time seeing them and, how late it is in the season, giving you the opportunity to take the day off, that's got to be nice to, spend some time with your family, spend some time with your, your wife, whoever's in town.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
So what do you got planned for Chris? We got Christmas celebrations then all set up, lined up, ready to go, or is it tough to do because you are in football mode?
I'd say it's a little both. I mean, Coach definitely this week, the biggest thing expressing is rest and recovery while maximizing the time we have at the facility, doing our practices and stuff, and then having the day off. For me, I was, fortunate enough, Donnie invited me over to his house for Christmas. If not, I was kind of just going to spend a lonely Christmas at home, because Aaron, I'm so nice to him, I extended my helping hand to him, but he couldn't, return the favor, so.
How about you? What do you got planned for the...
Usually I wake up around 5 o'clock on Christmas because I like to open my presents. But I'll probably sleep in a little bit, have my wife make some breakfast, open presents, and then just have some dinner with me and her.
Is that kind of like the tradition? I mean, what you guys grew up doing? What was, Christmas like? We'll start with you, David, in the Bakhtiari household with, your brothers and siblings.
It was crazy. There's a total of 4 siblings, 5 if you want to include my dad.
Crazy Carl?
Crazy K.
Yeah.
And we had a tradition where we all would sleep in the same room. We did it. I think we did it forever. I think the last time we were all together, because my brother, when I was in college, I was able to go home. My brother still was playing, so a couple times he wasn't there. But we'd still all sleep in the same room. Like we'd bring blow-up mattresses and stuff and kind of just follow us all in there. That's been a tradition in our family. And then I've never been a person to sleep in, so I'd always be up, just dying to go in the living room and see all the presents. So then that's basically, the whole Christmas tree. And then because there's 6 of us, there's always so many presents, from all the presents. It takes forever to get to the Christmas tree. You can't walk towards all these boxes. And then my mom always gets it all decked out for the dog. She always gets some Christmas presents too, so that's nice.
The dogs and the cats, all the animals and that sort
just
of thing.
Dogs.
Just dogs, not
dogs.
a cat family?
I'm still got to warm up to some cats, but I'm
Okay.
definitely a dog. I'm a dog guy.
How about you, Aaron? Take us through, Christmas as a kid.
It was basically the same. I had 2 brothers, 2 sisters, and my mom, Christmas is her favorite time of year, so she decked the house out. She made sure we had a lot
Did
of
she
stuff
deck
under
the
tree.
halls?
She did deck the halls,
Okay,
too.
cool.
Everything. Same thing, though. We woke up early. I was usually the first one up, so I would go knock on everyone's door and make sure they were awake at about 5:30 in the morning.
Favorite present as a kid? Is there a Christmas present you remember opening and have one of those, videos where the kids are online screaming, can't believe they got what they got?
I got a Razor scooter.
A Razor scooter?
Yeah, I was about 7th grade, about 170 pounds lighter. And those Razor scooters, they were real good for a guy my size.
Well, you're 6'5" right now, right?
Yeah.
So what were you in 7th grade? Probably about
6'2".
6'2".
Probably about 6 foot, maybe. I don't know.
Tallest kid driving around on one of the Razor scooters, right? How about you, David?
Man. I was always really happy for anything, and I've always been like that kid. My mom always asked me what I want. I was like, I don't really care. Just give me something. She always used to give something great, but never really asked for crazy thing. I think we got Dance Dance Revolution when that was a big hit back in the old day. I was like, oh, this is the greatest thing. Me and my sister would just do all those games.
Explain Dance Dance Revolution for the people, just so they can get the mental image of you on the Dance Dance Revolution.
It's like one of these little pads. There's 2 of them actually, and you play a song, and like there's all these arrows, and basically once the arrow goes up to the set point, you got to step on it. Not at all does it teach you at all how to dance, because basically if you actually did the exact dance that was shown you, you'd look like I don't even know how. I don't even want to begin to describe.
You may have seen. I mean, if you ever walked in a mall and walked past the arcades,
yeah,
they got these machines, and they got the video screen in front of you, and you're actually on there moving your feet and dancing in the different or moving your. And there's some people that are just crazy good at this. I'd just like to see you doing that.
I think there's 8 different buttons.
Okay. Different directional arrows.
Different directional arrows. The best technique, if anyone's going to go out there and try, is you got to get a little hop to it. I used to just be, stiff-legged, but that's, I guess, the one thing I kind of could use, actually, when I was dancing. You got to get a little hop, a little groove. You can't just stand there all stiff or else it ain't going to work.
It helps your lateral movement out on the field,
and
blocking,
then from there, the reason why, I got in the NFL was because of Dance Dance Revolution, so thank you.
30% of the reason you are here where you are.
I give you like 0.3, but...
Here's the real question. Were you guys snoopers? Were you digging around the house, looking in the closets, and finding out what you got beforehand?
I pretty much always found it. I kind of made it like a mission. And then when I did, I just felt good. I was like, I knew it. And then that was about it. Because I was always really tall for my age, and my parents always put up in the highest spots thinking that, no one's going to reach it. And I'd always open up the cabinet and be like, yep, there they are. Got it. And then I'd be done. That was almost just as fun as Christmas.
How about you, Aaron?
I did the same thing. I would always say, hey, I would hide something here, and I would go check, and lo and behold, there's something there.
All right, here we are, 2013 Christmas. What's that number one thing on your list? Hoping you're under the tree here in a couple of days. Outside of a victory over the Chicago Bears.
Okay.
Because, come on, that's too cliche, and that's easy, and that's just assumed that that's going to be under there.
Do you know?
I couldn't tell you.
You got Xbox, PlayStation 4. You got all that great stuff. You got a new sled if you want one.
Turbo.
It's going to go to commercial break before I can think of something. I'm so easygoing. Like I told you when I was young, I really didn't care. Okay. Now, like my mom always asks me, what do you want for Christmas? I'm like, honestly, I got everything in the world. I'm more happy than anything. You don't have to get me anything. I'm okay. But if it had to be anything, I guess, I don't know, maybe some clothes.
Clothes.
I said
more Christmas sweaters.
Ugly sweater shirt. Yeah, Christmas sweater.
More Christmas sweaters. All right. David Bakhtiari, Aaron Adams with us. We are in the huddle here from Tanner's on the Woodward Radio Network. And we are back here at Tanner's Sports Grill in Kimberly in the huddle on the Woodward Radio Network. David Bakhtiari, Aaron Adams with us here tonight. And before we get to our brew pub Lots of Matzah Ask the Players segment, this is a great story. David was telling us about a special gift you gave your sister last year because you were in the very creative giving mood.
Very giving.
Yeah.
So last Christmas, I got a box, a really nice box, and I got a marker, and I wrote at the bottom of it. And then I closed it, wrapped that up, made it look really presentable. And then when I gave it to my sister, she opened it up. She opened up the box, and there's nothing in it. And at the bottom of the box says in Sharpie, it says, my love. So for Christmas, I gave my sister my love.
See, that's
sweet. That's what I wanted her to say. But in return, she got angry at me because she's like, where's my gift? I'm like, that's not good enough?
Can't give much more than your love.
You can never make girls happy, I guess.
I'll have to ask you what you got her this year, but next time.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Yep.
I
don't want to spoil it.
Yeah.
Well, she's probably already knows, but I just still want to spoil it.
We'll get to our Brew Pub Lots of Matzah Pizza Ask the Players segment. We've got questions on Facebook and Twitter. And, of course, Brew Pub Pizza, you can follow them on Facebook, facebook.com/Brew Pub Pizza. The great Lots of Matzah pizzas made with a half pound of real Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Got the premium meats, veggies, And again, that half pound of
It's good, I'm
mozzarella
telling you.
cheese.
I
can't even say mozzarella cheese at home. Ask my wife, because all I'm thinking is the brew pub, lots of matzo pizza.
Is it true? It's true.
It's very true. Very true. All right, let's get to it. First question from Steve in Milwaukee. Are all the questions about Aaron Rodgers and the quarterbacking situation a distraction at all? David, I'll let you start.
Not really, but maybe a little. But
is it to the point where it's the same thing every week? Okay.
Yeah.
It's wait to see what happens at practice, and by Friday a decision will be made, and nothing has been changed. It's almost like everybody's looking for a better answer than that.
Well, I think we have, when we see practice, we kind of have an idea, but we're not going to tell anyone. And then till that's Coach McCarthy's and Aaron's business to take care of, and I don't want someone talking about my injury, so it's kind of the same thing. So we kind of just let it be. We have enough stuff to worry about, so we're like, all right, they're going to take care of that. We get ready to win a football game. That's the biggest thing, with or without Aaron.
Are you surprised how big of a story? It's become over the weeks, and just how it. It's all anybody's talk. I'll tell you what, a little Christmas present may have been Tony Romo's back injury today, and he's been ruled out for the season because now, everybody has another quarterback to talk about, and it's not all the focus on Aaron in the situation.
True. But is Aaron being a big story? It's Aaron Rodgers, so kind of assume. He's going to be talked about. He's a big part of the NFL. But he's a top quarterback, so. I can't find them, especially with ESPN running 24/7. I can't find it hard for them not to want to talk about it.
Yeah. Okay. I was waiting for you to maybe slip up and give us a better answer, but you handled that one real well. So
I might be young, but I still know my boundaries. Yeah,
you're doing good. You may be a rookie, but you handle that one like a veteran.
Thank you.
All
right.
Mature 22.
Yeah.
Next question.
Very mature 22-year-old.
Next question. This one's coming from Carly in Appleton, and Aaron, we'll start with you. What is your favorite winter outdoor activity? This may be new for you, considering this might be Kentucky. Little wintry at all?
We got a little winter. We had an ice storm one year, and we kind of
one year.
You
get that once a week.
Yeah. I had fun kind of driving cars around an empty parking lot, just whipping it around in donuts. That was pretty fun for me. I didn't know the dangers of it because I never had to handle it. But I'd say sledding's pretty fun. Have a good time with that.
How about you, David?
Definitely I can't. Two things. One, of course I have my epic snowball fight growing up. But
your epic snowball fight.
Everyone had one where it's like, 10 on 10, just warfare. Everyone, it's every little kid's dream. So that's definitely one of my big
Is it the
points.
David Bakhtiari Invitational or something with the snowball fight? Hand out flyers in the street?
No, it was kind of just the kids in the lot up in Tahoe.
Okay.
We're just like, all right, let's go. Big battle.
All right.
I was a big target, so I got hit quite a few times, though.
You were easy to find.
Yeah, I could not hide a lot. That, and then back in my day, I grew up skiing, so I love snow skiing. It's kind of hard now, and especially being this big. Each cut, my legs are just dying. I used to just kill a mountain and go right down, but now I'll go down a little bit, stop, and be I have to take a deep breath. My legs are just burning. I'm halfway down, one face of the hill. I'm like, oh man, just don't have the stamina like I used to.
Okay. And skiing a lot too in Colorado.
Yeah.
Oh. No?
It was hard. I did a few times. It's just, with football. Back in high school and when I was young, yeah, all the time. Because we were 3.5 hours away from the mountains.
Okay. Next question here. This one's coming in from Tom in Madison. What is your favorite non-football thing you've gotten to do since becoming a member of the Packers? Anything special stand out to you, Aaron? You kind of smiled there.
Every week we do our little O-line outing, and we go bowling. Well, not every week we go bowling, but most of the time we go bowling. And I've had some good experiences there. I've gone through about 4 different techniques to try to get a good strike. I think I finally got my good roll in.
I tell you, Jeff from Lots of Matzo Pizza, he's in my bowling league on Wednesdays. He bowled a 300.
What?
A couple of weeks back, yeah.
Wow.
And he's not here tonight for us to honor him with his 300. What's your high game?
I think I hit like a 156 one night.
He had one crazy game. He's usually like a solid 85.
A solid 85.
Blew up.
Solid 85.
Like, his technique is he'll grab it like a 6-8 pound ball, but then just rocket that thing. That thing is at least going 30 miles an hour.
You guys throwing 6-pound balls seems like it can be dangerous. Let's cut it off right there. We'll come back. We'll finish up. We got Aaron Adams, David Bakhtiari in the huddle here on the Woodward Radio Network. And back one final time to Tanner's in Kimberly in the huddle on the Woodward Radio Network. David Bakhtiari, Aaron Adams with us here from Tanner's on this Christmas Eve, as I think we can call it.
Mm-hmm. It works.
Well, we'll get to Chicago coming up in a little bit here. Go around the NFL yesterday. Peyton Manning, 4 touchdown passes, 51 for the season, set a single-season high for a record. And Manning, I know over his careers, he's been one of the greats to watch. But what was, you were in Colorado last year.
Mm-hmm.
He comes to Denver. What was the buzz like surrounding, Peyton Manning coming to the Broncos?
Well, most of my friends were Bronco fans, and it was very annoying, the whole Tim Tebow experience. So I actually was relieved when they actually got, this is going to sound terrible and bash Tim Tebow a little bit, but don't hate. I still like the guy.
What's he doing today?
I don't know.
He's not playing
I'm just saying, like,
right?
basically, once the Broncos actually got a real quarterback, I could quit hearing them talk about this fantasy story. They're all just happy, just ecstatic, and it's Peyton Manning, pretty good. So now he's been a year in the program, and he's got he's clicking all cylinders. He's doing really good. You got to tip his hat. It's a great record.
You kind of made a face there talking about Manning. Kind of fun to watch guys like that. Seeing that, and seeing one of the greats too in Aaron in practice every day. Well, yes, seeing him around. Yeah. I'll say that right now. Yeah.
It's definitely fun to watch. Aaron, Peyton, all the greats. It's a great thing to watch, especially kids growing up, and 10, 20 years, all these guys are still going to hold the record most likely.
Passing numbers in today's NFL, a little bit different. When you look at how records are getting knocked, I want to ask you because, I grew up, Dan Marino was my favorite player. I don't know why, but he was, and he held all these records for like 20 years. Now all of a sudden they're, just getting kind of knocked out left and right with a lot of fantasy numbers out there, to be honest with you.
Yeah. It's become a passing league. You see the consistent teams that are winning it, they got a good quarterback. So, I'm glad we got one. We just need him to be healthy, get out there and do what he does best and throw the ball, throw touchdowns.
All right, waking up this morning, kind of going back to what we talked about earlier, but waking up this morning, having destiny back in your own hands. Describe that feeling. Knowing that today when you got back to work, you're right back into that mode, you win, and everything you guys have been working for is there in front of you, an opportunity to go to the postseason. Aaron, I'll start with you.
I actually put out a tweet last night that said something like, and just like that, we got the NFC North title next week. It's crazy, like Dave was saying earlier, everything that is bad has happened, everything that could have gone right has happened. So to be sitting in this spot at 7-7-1, playing for the NFC North championship that's a pretty crazy feeling.
Were you laughing at 7-7-1?
It's just crazy to think that we can win our division and have the 3rd or 4th seed and have host one of the wild card games at potentially 8-7-1. That's just very funny. Even somebody went to veterans I still can't believe we're in this. This is the easiest year for any the Lions and the Bears to step up and really take care of the league, and it's no one wants it.
Yeah.
Since they went to the 4-division format, there's been 3 teams that have made the postseason with a division record, while somebody with a better record didn't make the postseason. All 3 of those teams have won their opening round.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Seattle 7-9 a couple years ago. Your boy Tim Tebow did it a couple years ago. You can roll your eyes at me.
I don't know if we're boys, but
and San Diego did it a few years ago.
I don't know him. I don't know him too well, so I don't want to pass any judgment. So,
Packer fans got a Christmas present today as well, when Mark Trestman, head coach of the Bears, announced that Jay Cutler will be starting on Sunday. Packer fans love going up against Jay Cutler. It's unbelievable how much they enjoy Jay Cutler. Like, his career now, I think he has 2 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. I mean, it's like the difference is unbelievable with what Jay Cutler has done. Okay.
Yeah, all right.
How are they? I mean, you played them a while ago. Obviously, that was the game where you guys lost Aaron. What stands out to you about Chicago now, maybe that wasn't there last time around? Is it the same? I mean, preparing for this team twice and, playing for all the marbles here.
For us, offensively, the biggest thing we notice is they have Lance Briggs back. Otherwise, and I think Tillman's out. Otherwise, same team. It's not like we played them. It's not like we played them like the first 3 games of the year. We played them, 7-8 weeks ago. So, of course, we're going to go back to that film, just like they're going to go back to that film too. Not too much has changed, and I guess for them scouting us, I guess a little bit's changed. But I don't know. Maybe we'll see 12 in there. Maybe we'll see 18 back. There's some good numbers to have on the field. It's gonna be a fun game.
Last question: how do you keep the moment and the opportunity from getting too big, where maybe it psychs you out? If you know what I'm saying.
Treat every week like just a normal week. Mm-hmm. That's how I kind of. This year has gone by so fast. Being a rookie, just treat every week as just a normal week, and don't let anything get too big. No, don't blow too many things up, or else you'll create a monster you can't control, and then eventually just come breaking down on you.
The good news is for us, we have a lot of guys that were here on the Super Bowl team, so obviously they've been in a huge moment, so they know how to manage it, and that can trickle down to us.
Aaron, thank you so much for spending some time with us. Really do appreciate your time, and all the best to you in the future.
Thank you.
David, 2 weeks. Let's do this again, all right, bud?
Oh, yeah, I'll see you in 2 weeks.
All right, Aaron Adams, David Bakhtiari. I am Justin Hull. Thanks for tuning in. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everybody. You have been in the Huddle live here from Tanner's in Kimberly on the Woodward Radio Network.